it's Jeannie. Thank you so much for watching. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe because I already know y'all are gonna like the video and you guys like my content, so don't forget to subscribe, like the video so I can know that you are interested in what I am watching. And without further ado, let's get started. Today I'm going to be talking about the tips I wish I knew before I started my spiritual journey and embarked on my journey of consciousness. So these are tips that I wish somebody told me, or I wish I had known and done the research before I started my healing journey, because it seriously makes everything so much easier. I'm going to be talking about some tips that I learned just throughout my journey. You know, I'm not a professional, of course, because like I'm still learning every single day. I'm a student every single day. Like, I'm still learning, but so far these are just some things that have helped me and that I've seen have helped others as well, especially when they apply it into all areas of their life. Let's go ahead and let's get started. Today I'm just going to be chit-chatting with you guys. Honestly, I've tried filming a video before I filmed this video and it was a get ready with me, but I just didn't like the direction that the video was going in. I'm just gonna vlog and just show you guys what I do. So I'm about to walk Chase. Come on, Chase. I don't know if you guys have seen Chase already, but he got a haircut. My little rat. My little rat. Hey, okay, we can go potty. The first thing that I wish I knew when I was embarking on my spiritual journey, or before I started embarking on my spiritual journey, was you need to be authentic. Okay, it really starts with yourself. You need to learn to be authentic in your own way, where you are honoring not only your needs but your emotions. So you need to start off with complete authenticity, complete honesty with yourself, complete awareness. You need to have some sort of level of awareness in order to embark on this journey, not only because it's going to call for some unresolved feelings to be addressed, but because it will also call for honesty. You know, like I was saying before, you need to be honest with yourself and you need to be pretty aware. And in order to be aware, you need to acknowledge your feelings. You need to acknowledge where those feelings stem from. And you need to also acknowledge how you're feeling in the current present moment and why. You know, those are some of the things that, you know, play into self-awareness. So you do need to have some sort of level of self-awareness, and you can just do that by paying attention to how your body feels. You know, just honor your body, pay attention to how your body feels, and that will give you a better idea of what you are currently working on, or what stage of your healing you are currently on at this time. So the second thing that I wish I knew before I started my spiritual journey was it does get lonely. It does get pretty lonely. You may, you know, lose some friends who are no longer on the same vibrational or that same frequency that you are on. You may lose, you know, relationships. You may have a redefined sense of what a relationship looks like to you, and because of that, it is going to reflect in your personal relationships. So it might get lonely because, you know, you may realize that the people you have around you are not on the same frequency or wavelength as you, and as a result, you are going to have to create some distance, or just, you know, let them be their own person, but, you know, in their own way. And you can just do that by leaving them alone. So sometimes you're just gonna have to realize you just gotta leave people alone and release control. So yeah, it does get lonely. I wish I knew how lonely it does get. And I don't want to say lonely as if, you know, you don't have anybody around you, because you can have people around you. But this is the thing, you may have people around you who are there for you and supportive, but it gets lonely because there are only certain things that you can heal and that you can go through on your own. And this is not because you are discrediting those around you, or because you are taking, you know, looking down on people. It's not necessarily because of that, or you're not appreciating them. It's just because there are certain emotions and certain traumas that you have to go through and heal alone. And because of that, it does get a little bit lonely, and, you know, as a result, you may have to distance yourself a little bit from some people, and that's totally okay. Like, that's normal. And you know, you're meant to be with that friend or that person or that partner if they are able to understand, and if they're able to give you that space and let you acknowledge those feelings and those triggers and still come back to you and, you know, treat you respectfully. So it does get lonely, and honestly sometimes you just have to find new friends. That's okay. Sometimes you have to find new friends, sometimes you have to find new partnerships, sometimes you have to find new relationships, sometimes you have to rebuild the foundation of your relationships if the person wants to be on the same page with you. Sometimes you don't get the opportunity to do that, and that's okay. And sometimes you just have to rebuild your relationships, especially when it comes to, you know, your relationship with, let's say, your parents or your siblings or things of that nature. Sometimes you do have to start from a new level because you are looking at your life through the lens of new understanding, and so because of that you are going to see your relationships through a different lens, you know. And I think that's awesome. I think that's super awesome, and I feel like that gives you so much potential to grow, and it gives you so much potential to really connect with others on a deep level. And I always say this: the more you understand yourself, the more you can understand others, and the more you will see why they behave the way that they do. So it's all about yourself, and it's all about your emotions. And by saying that, I'm not saying to disregard the emotions of others or push other people away, because by all means I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is, in order for you to embark on this journey, you need to be able to acknowledge that you have not been putting yourself first. And because of that, when you acknowledge that, you are actually going to see spirituality, and this beautiful healing journey is going to call for you to release the things that no longer serve you and accept the things that do. It's not about changing who you are, and it's not about ignoring yourself. It's about just letting go of the patterns and letting go of the programming that you had that was not true to you as an individual. Another thing that I wish I knew was that it's okay to feel your feelings. Like, it's okay if one day, you know, you're super happy and then the next day you're like super sad, you want to cry, things of that nature. Like, it's okay to work in waves of emotions, because that's how emotions work. Emotions come and they go, and then they stay, and then they leave, you know. So that's totally normal. Feeling your feelings is important. Feeling your feelings is going to help you ascend to that level of understanding your emotions. So feel your feelings and don't be afraid to do so. Also too, another thing is that, like, even if you do feel your feelings, or if you feel a certain way with this journey and with healing emotions and with healing traumas, the emotions feel heavy in the moment, but they don't stay heavy. The emotions actually lighten up the more that you acknowledge and understand them. Those emotions are fleeting. Always remember, emotions are fleeting. Emotions do not stick with you, okay? Those emotions that you feel are presenting itself, so that way you can acknowledge something below the surface and then you can release it, because it no longer serves you. So that's why those feelings are there. Those feelings are not there for you to harbor on those feelings. Those feelings are not there for you to put blame on someone or something else. That's not what it's there for. I had to, you know, go through the emotions and go through the waves of the feelings, thinking that there was something wrong with me, when in all actuality people just are not taught to feel their feelings. People are not taught to acknowledge the emotions that they have, and they are not taught to understand the root of those emotions. So because of that, there can be some gray areas that may be a little bit harder to overcome. So that's exactly why I'm making this video. Another thing that I wish I knew: your relationships with people are going to change. And that sounds very obvious, like that sounds very, very, you know, like clear, but you will not realize how much they change until you have actually reached a certain point in your healing. And I don't want to say that they necessarily changed for the better or the worse, because there's no way of me telling you that, but I will say though that they change depending on how much you're able to get deep with yourself. So the deeper that you go through your shadow work and the more you feel your emotions, the more you will be able to become deeper with the ones that you love, and they will be able to reciprocate that towards you, because when you heal yourself, you also heal others. But the only thing is that I wish I knew about, you know, this healing journey, is that the deeper I get with myself, the more it may trigger other people, because they have not gotten that deep with themselves as well. So there's that duality to it, and that's only because Energy is felt, okay? And because energy is felt, those emotions will come to the surface. So the more you heal, the more you will bring up unresolved emotions and traumas in other people, and that is only because you are showing them that you are healing. I, you know, would lose friends. I would, you know, people would change the way that they saw me, and I would just be like what did I do wrong? Like, I would think that it was something that I did wrong, but it wasn't anything that I did wrong. It was just a matter of how much they understood me because I understood myself. I hope that really makes a lot of sense. Okay, y'all, so the next thing that I wish I knew before I embarked on this crazy journey was my sensitivity has increased so much due to a newfound level of awareness. So the more aware you are with your emotions and how your body feels, the more sensitive you are going to become towards other energies, especially if you have naturally empathetic abilities. And that is because you are going to be able to feel other people's energies on a stronger or deeper level. Your body is going to mirror what other people feel and how other people feel. So those emotions and those thoughts or those behaviors may not be necessarily what you feel and what you are thinking. It may just be people around you. And the way that I'm able to use discernment between figuring out if it's how I feel or how other people feel is where I'm feeling those emotions. Usually if I'm feeling how somebody else feels, it will be on my body, like my surface level of my body. And if it's with me, I will feel it deep inside of my body. So I will feel it within my chakras. I will feel it, you know, in my heart or my stomach, my solar plexus. I will feel it in my sacral. I will feel it, you know, in how grounded I am. I will feel it if I start overthinking a lot, things of that nature. So the more you connect with your body, the more you will definitely be able to tell. Another thing that I wish I knew before I started on this, before I embarked on this journey of consciousness or spirituality, was how unaware people are of their actions and their behaviors and their emotions. People truly go around behaving like children, like adults, but in the, like, with a mind of a child. There will be full-blown adults with the behavior of a child, with tantrums like a child, with emotions like a child, with manipulative tendencies like a child. And that is because their inner child is not nourished. So that made me do shadow work, and that made me think of ways to connect to my inner child. So on this journey, expect to work a lot with your inner child and meet the needs of your inner child. And you can do that in many ways, obviously depending on, you know, your inner child, because everybody's inner child is so different. And basically what your inner child is just who you were as a child. And as you get older, you still have those tendencies, but you push them away because being an adult and growing up forces you to push those tendencies to the side. So as an adult now, you have to ask yourself, and what needs needed to be met as a child that were not met by other people, that you now have to meet within yourself, because you are responsible for your own inner child. That was something that I wish I had known beforehand. Another thing that I wish I had known beforehand was that people will treat you exactly how they feel about you. And this is very obvious as well, but once you start to sense the energies, you will really start to understand that how people treat you is a reflection of how they feel about themselves. So the more aware you become of your relationships and the people around you, especially if they're low vibrational, you are going to see that people can only meet you as deep as they have met themselves. And as a result, you are going to see that a lot of the relationships that you may have around you and a lot of the people around you may keep things surface level. And that's not because they feel any type of way about you or there's something wrong with you. It is truly because they have not gotten to that level of awareness within themselves yet. So just be very patient with them, be understanding with them. It's okay to talk about these things with your friends or your family or your loved ones or with who you trust, as long as they understand where you're coming from. And honestly, as long as you're being as honest with yourself as possible, because at the end of the day, you don't need that external validation. And because you don't need the external validation, you are going to seek that internal validation within yourself, and that's going to come from your personal power. And your personal power really just comes from your inner child and how honest you are with your needs. So just be honest with yourself, and just, you know, make sure that you are constantly connecting with how you feel. Make sure you are paying attention to how your body feels around other people, because another thing that I wish I knew about you stepping into this journey of consciousness is that your body will tell you how you feel about people. If your body language changes when you get around certain people, or if energetically you feel as though you don't really work well with other people, that says a lot. I was watching a video by Queen Cup, and she was saying how other people smell to you will tell you how you feel about them. So if people start smelling nasty to you, this is a thing, if people start smelling nasty to you, or if for whatever reason you like how they smell, it is because you guys are on a different wavelength of energy. I mean, of course it is probably because of personal hygiene, but some people, if your smells just don't work, it's because you don't like their energy. It's like getting a whiff of somebody's energy and being like, oh no, I don't like that, you know? So your body will tell you everything that you need to know about somebody, especially if they are around your energy. So if you start to get around someone and you get sad or you get angry, it may either because they are grieving heavily, or because there's something inside of them that triggers you and your anger. And it may usually be things like lack of boundaries, lack of understanding, lack of awareness as well. So as I became more sensitive, I realized that lack of awareness in other people really triggered me, because adults will go around being very unaware of what they are doing and how are they behaving. And because of that, I've chosen to release my emotions of resentment and anger. But with that comes a newfound sense of responsibility, because I have to behave differently. So just make sure that your behavior is aligning with what you want to manifest, because your behavior is going to show the universe what it is exactly that you seek, and your behavior is going to tell the universe what it is exactly that you want to manifest. So because of that, you are going to have to behave differently, and this is going to show physically, of course. And because it's going to show physically, you are going to have a newfound level of discipline and consistency, and this requires strengthening of the mind. You need to become stronger. You need to be mentally stronger, and you don't have to be physically stronger. If that's your goal, then yeah, why not? But it's more so mental. Mentally, you cannot let anything hinder you from your growth. Mentally, you need to embrace the changes that come your way, because if you don't, your growth will be shunned, and you will be stuck, and you will be fixated on what went wrong, you know. And you can't do that, because if you do that, you will start to downplay yourself, and you will start to behave as though you do not deserve the good things that are coming your way. So good is not going to come, and when it does come, you're not going to be able to handle it properly. And because of that, good will slip your fingers. Good will run through your fingers like water, and then you'll never feel good again. So just make sure that you are honoring those emotions and those thoughts and those behaviors, and respect the changes that come, and respect and honor yourself before anything. Seriously, respect and honor yourself before anything, because I promise you, this will help you so much, and it'll make you see your life through a different, more positive lens of understanding and of love. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope this helped somebody. That's like the goal. All I need is like one person. If it helps one person, the job here is done. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to like this video if you did like it, and comment down below and let me know what you wish you knew when you started your journey. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.